Today, we're going to talk about building something, not with, bricks and mortar, but with focus, with intention. We're going to explore what I'm calling the architecture of ambition.
Just let that sink in for a second. What if the heaviest thing you carry around every day is your own potential? It's not your job or your bills or what other people expect from you. So often, the thing that's really crushing us is that gap, the gap between who we know we could be and who we are right now. That is a heavy, heavy burden.
And that's where we meet our guy for today, Arjun. His story, well, it's probably going to feel pretty familiar. He's living under that massive weight of someday. You know the one. Someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday. And look, the thing about Arjun is he knew exactly what he wanted. His goals weren't some fuzzy, vague idea. Nope. They were these crystal clear, high-definition movies playing in his head of the future he desperately wanted to build. He could see the whole thing, finished, grand, perfect. But, and this is a big but, there was a huge disconnect, a canyon really, because while his dreams were so clear, his actual days were just a fog, a total fog of distraction and putting things off. It's like the architect had this beautiful blueprint, but the builder just never even bothered to show up for work.
And this is what that paralysis looks like, right? I think we all know this cycle. That blank page on the computer that's just staring at you, so intimidating you can't even start. The infinite scroll on your phone that's such an easy escape. All those tutorial videos you save for later, a later that just never seems to come. And of course, the to-do lists that just become these sad little monuments to what you intended to do, not what you actually did.
But then, something changes for Arjun. A completely new way of looking at things enters his life, and not from some productivity guru or a book, but from the most unexpected place. So Arjun, he just happens to stumble upon this old gardener, a quiet mentor figure whose wisdom isn't about hacks or theories, but it comes from years and years of actual practice, of just patiently tending to living things. And this chance meeting, it's the spark that changes everything. And right away, we get the first huge lesson. The mentor just completely flips Arjun's whole idea of discipline on its head. See, Arjun always saw discipline as this punishment, a cage he was put in for procrastinating. But the gardener shows him it's the exact opposite. It's not a cage, it's the trellis that a vine climbs to reach the sun. It's the very structure that gives you true freedom. So the gardener's wisdom is all wrapped up in this really simple metaphor about gardening. First, he says, you have to choose the right seed. That's your goal. Simple enough. Second, you have to water it every single day. That's the process, just showing up and doing the work. And third, and this might be the hardest part, you have to trust the soil. You have to have patience because growth doesn't happen overnight. You just have to trust that all those small daily efforts are going to pay off. Okay, so this new way of thinking leads us to the real core of the problem, right? The central choice that Arjun, and let's be honest, all of us, have to make every single day. It's this epic battle, the battle of the two wants. You can just picture it. The gardener looks at Arjun, not with any judgment, but with this deep understanding. And he asks a question that just cuts right through all the noise, right to the heart of the struggle. And there it is. That's the whole thing, isn't it? So simple, but man, is it profound. Discipline is choosing between what you want right now and what you want most. The struggle isn't about doing something versus doing nothing. It's a choice between two incredibly powerful desires, the quick, easy hit of comfort and the long-term, deep satisfaction of your biggest goal. Let's break it down. On one side, you've got what you want now. You know, the comfort of the sofa, the distraction of your phone, the simple ease of saying, I'll do it tomorrow. And on the other side, that's what you want most. Real, actual growth, a deep sense of fulfillment, living a life with purpose. And you know what? Those two columns are almost always fighting each other. So this one, simple conversation, it plants a seed. And it really marks the beginning of a huge, fundamental shift in Arjun's whole way of thinking. So he walks away from the garden, but the gardener's words, they stick with him. They start to grow. And for the first time in a long, long time, he doesn't feel completely overwhelmed by how huge his ambitions are. Instead, he feels empowered. He has this new, profound sense of clarity. And this is the breakthrough. This is it. He finally gets it. He's been spending all this time staring at the blueprint for a giant skyscraper, totally paralyzed by how massive it is. But the real work? It was never about building the whole thing at once. No way. It was just about focusing all his energy, all his attention on laying one single brick, but laying that one brick perfectly. That's the only job he has for today. And that leaves us with the same question Arjun is now asking himself. So forget about the whole skyscraper, the finished project, that huge ambition. Just for today, what is the one, single, manageable brick that you need to lay perfectly today?